Are you ready to discover the game changing Instagram strategies that can really transform your small business? Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jen Vasquez, and I help hyper busy female service providers use Pinterest to book more clients and increase their income and impact. On this podcast, I also host expert interviews all about marketing, like today. If marketing is something that you want to learn more about for your business, we would love for you to subscribe to our podcast or the YouTube channel. Today, I am so excited to be chatting with Peg Fitzpatrick. Peg is a social media strategist and the author of The Art of Small Business Social Media, a blueprint for marketing success. Peg, and by the way, I'll have all these links down below, so don't freak out trying to find a pen to write that down. Her book will be linked below in the show notes. Peg was the first head of social strategy for Canva. She helps small businesses create impactful online strategies to grow their presence and engage with their audience. With a passion for practical tips and creative content, Peg's work empowers entrepreneurs to turn their visions into a reality. Welcome, Peg.
Thank you for having me. I love shows that are focused for women entrepreneurs. It just makes me like we need our own section on the internet. And I have no shame in also having a pink website forever. And when I first did it, people were like, you can't do pink.
Oh, yes, I can.
I was like, I can do pink and I like my pink. And I've always like even before the Barbie movie, it's been like that since like 2000, I don't know, 12 maybe my blog has been pink. But yeah, we shouldn't have to apologize for it and I love female only communities because it's better for us.
I know. And two things. One, it is so sad that I get probably five pitches each, more than five typically, but five pitches each week from guys to one pitch from a woman. And I
Mm,
always reply and say, I'm so sorry. It looks like you didn't do research. This podcast is for women by women. So you would not make a good guest.
right.
Very, very irritating that they're the ones that are all over getting pitches in. And
Yeah.
since 2009, for my photography business, I have hot pink. And everyone
Yep.
told me you need pastels. This is for weddings and
Right.
it's not an up level or whatever. And I was charging
Oh, it
five
wasn't
to ten
yeah.
thousand dollars a wedding. So clearly pink does not hurt.
No, it doesn't. And why was that the message? I think after the Barbie movie, Barbie got the message out. It's fine. Pink is fine,
Yeah.
but really just ridiculous.
It's
Love pink. It's a very happy color and bright pink is even more vibrant.
Yep.
It's a very vibrant. My colors are actually like a bright pink and my secondary color is like a blush. So I do kind of, I have whatever, but
Yeah. No,
do what makes you happy, right?
I own it.
Yeah.
Loved it's the one thing that's truly crossed over into my business from my personal. I have always loved pink. It makes me happy and I don't care what anyone thinks. So
Yeah.
so let's
And
move.
I think that it does reach our target audience probably, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I didn't write my book specifically for female entrepreneurs, but that is who I love the most.
Yeah. All right, well, let's dive in because I know everyone's super eager to hear all the things. Can you share your journey and what led you to specialize in the social marketing for small businesses?
So I started out, I've been in the industry for like 14 or 15 years, and I started out working for a mid level. It's a really tough industry to do in the textile chemistry industry. So when people say my brand is really hard, I can't market, I'm like, girl, you have no idea because chemicals, are hard to talk about. I've been working for that company really since I started. So since the day I started in social media, I have had a job with this company who I still work for. So I'm with that company for 14 years, but it was part time at the beginning. So I did a lot of other side things like work for Canva and I worked with Guy Kawasaki. But my journey started basically helping this company launch a product. And it was starting a product launch from having no social presence. So I got email addresses and you know, filled a huge room in Vegas for our product launch, which was a really big deal. And I did it through email marketing, which by the way is still very relevant today,
It
right?
is it is the best in terms of 20 I think 18 to 20% of all of my clients come from my email. So my email
Right.
list. Hello.
I know. Email is so important. And it is one of the only things that you own. So it's a very important asset to work with. So starting that from scratch, I built it up and did a big product launch. So since the very beginning, I have always tested things on my own accounts before I would do them on anybody else's account. So I say that I like accidentally built myself a social platform by just using things and trying things and testing things. And that led to writing on my blog, which I've had since like 2010, maybe. Just writing, it's all about social media, like for small businesses, just how to use all the different social platforms and changes. And so I've been just really engrossed in the whole app ecosystem of social media and blogging and email and all of it. And I've worked with, different companies. I've worked with like Pinterest on some of their launches. I've worked behind the scenes with Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and just, really, I would say TikTok. No, I have TikTok doesn't even know who I am. Which is totally fine because it's not my main thing. But so I've been around for a long time and I've worked on all different aspects of social media. So I got around to writing this book, particularly for small businesses, to take all my expertise from all this time and just distill it into one book because I found during the pandemic that a lot of small businesses that didn't have social media, even though people like you and I have been out there forever telling them they needed a website and they needed social media. Some businesses didn't do it. And sadly, they're gone, which is, I mean, it's sad to me. Like a small business is someone's dream, like especially a brick and mortar. Like it's so much money to start that business up and run that business. And because they didn't do one aspect of marketing, they're gone and their dream is gone. And we lost a small business in our community, which the the biggest amount of businesses in our communities are all small businesses. So I wanted to help people really get started in social media. So it's everything from the beginning to the end, like using all my experience and just showing people how to do all aspects of it. Because I feel like even though you can Google things and you can look things up in AI, it's not the same as having the strategy from the beginning to the end.
I totally agree with that. What are some sort of common mistakes that you see small business owners or entrepreneurs make on Instagram, and
Mm.
how can they avoid them?
Right. So I think that a lot of times small business owners, obviously, they don't have a lot of time because whatever their main business is the thing that makes them money, really makes them money. And social media to build their brand awareness and be like their calling card, you have to have an Instagram presence, which we talked about before. Sorry, people, it was in the green room, but we talked about how, you really do have to have an Instagram profile now. And you do need to have it be current and vibrant. And I think what happens is small business owners get overwhelmed and they think I have to post every day, or they listen to some, influencers that are telling them you have to do this or you're going to fail, or all these, you have to do this and you have to do it this way, and those kind of instructions are overwhelming and a lot of times not even true, to be honest. I think these people, the current people that are out there hawking stuff that's not necessarily, that's kind of a myth, is the ones that are like, I started my account 30 days ago and I've gained 3,000 followers. And these are the steps that I did. And this is how you do it. And then they're going to tell you that you need to post 6 reels a day. And you'll be burnt out by the end of the first day because creating
Yeah.
six reels is really hard when you're getting started. So I think that one of the things is sometimes they listen to too many different people.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think choosing a couple, I'm really talking less than a handful of like influencers slash social media experts to follow. If you try to follow too many different people, that gets overwhelming because you'll definitely get different advice from different people. So try to choose wisely on the people that you're following. If you choose people that have like 1 million followers or more, there's 100% chance that that person is not managing any of their own stuff. They're the face of the brand and there's other people managing it. So advice that they give you might be almost impossible for you to pull off by yourself, right? Because they have a team of people.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
that
totally agree. And I will say, for any entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or even new baby businesses, just note that everyone has different ways of doing things. And if you
Mhm.
try to follow a bunch of people and do what they're doing, you're never actually doing anything. You're just
Right.
playing, playing, testing, testing, which I totally think is important in marketing. Testing
Mhm.
is very important, like trying new things, but not all in one day or all in one
Right.
week or whatever. And it
Right.
can get very overwhelming.
It can, it can, and so I think that happens to people, they get overwhelmed or they don't know what to do, so they copy someone's stuff exactly, like
Ugh,
someone else's style, and then they're not do it's never gonna work because it's not authentically you and your brand. So it's important maybe you do have to watch for a while and learn and figure out who your brand is before you can create more content, but you definitely just can't copy someone else's style. You see people like I don't know if you follow Pretty Little Marketer. Do you follow Pretty
no.
Little Marketer? It's a brand out of London. Obviously, they took their name from like Pretty Little Liars kind
Yeah,
of idea for
yeah.
their name. Their brand is beautiful on Instagram. They have, I think she just passed 1 million followers. She has so many followers. So she posts really cool stuff. It's really like, it's bright. Her fonts are awesome. And she gets copied a lot, and actually a big brand just copied her style of post, like, literally exactly. She's like, so it's good to look at other people's things and be inspired, but just think, "Okay, how can I use that with my own brand colors?" Because that brand even copied, like, her brand color,
That's
and, I mean, it was
wild.
yeah, it was crazy.
And you can't do as much about it. If somebody copied your website exactly, you might have more control because it's yours and you own it. But with
Mhm.
with Instagram, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Right, except that person has a huge c they
That
were
they're
really
gonna go out
right.
and handle it
Yeah,
for
that
yeah,
that community was like, "No," because she posted it, and she posted a picture of it like,
like,
um
"Hello?" Yeah,
yeah.
ridiculous.
So, I'm sure they thought she does great, which is true. Her posts do great. Her style's awesome, but that's her style. People, so it you might have that impression that like I'll just do what she does exactly or they do exactly, but you have to come up with your own version of that, like 100% your own
For
version.
sure. How important nowadays is our Instagram Reels? I know
Mm.
that and like how important are they? And do you have any tips for creating, and let's be honest, creating engaging reels, right? I think the
Right.
goal on Instagram should be for that engagement, not just the
Mhm.
like, not just the followers, but like the comments or the people following you or sharing your content. Like I find that that tends to make my whole Instagram do better when I focus on that. So,
Mhm.
talk a bit about that.
Agreed. So reels are the biggest thing. That's what they are promoting the most. Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, did come out just today explaining how to get your carousels to do better instead
Ooh,
of a
I'm gonna have
static
to watch
post.
that because I only
Yeah.
do carousels and reels now.
Which is what his point was, like, but the thing is people got so ingrained in doing
I
a
know.
really beautiful Instagram post, like, it's still, like, in our mindset, I just need one beautiful photo, but that's not the thing anymore. So, reels are the most important and carousels, those are the only 2 things that I do too, so I try to do, like, 1 carousel a week and maybe 2 reels a week, even though this week I did more, but I'm just sticking to, like, 2 or 3 reels
Yep.
and 1 carousel.
We'll talk about consistency in a minute because I know
Mhm.
that is sadly very important. Talk to us
Yeah.
a little bit about reels.
So, reels obviously are very important. A great thing to do is create a bunch of B roll video that can be kind of like used for a lot of different purposes, and you can reuse the little clips. There's a lot of different places where you can come up with B roll ideas, including like you can go into Chat GPT and ask it for obviously you've built your brand already, and it knows who you are and who you serve and all of those things, and just say, please give me some B roll ideas for short form video and like how I would film it. And it will be like so many
Yes.
ideas. And then you just have to kind of play with it a little bit. Just get a little tripod of some sort. I mean, I even have like this little one which looks like nothing and it's
Because it
kind of
fits
like
in
this
your purse. Love
yeah.
Yeah, I have
And
them too.
it bends, like, it does a million things. It was so inexpensive. You can find ones that are not a lot, but you can film yourself in a bunch of different ways, put it behind you, next to you, in front of you. And if you're not sure about any of the B-roll stuff, you can Google that. There's great videos on TikTok and YouTube to show you how to create B-roll videos. Then just keep all those and you can even put them all in Canva, or you can put them all in CapCut depending on where you like to edit your videos.
Or you can put them all in your, because I have a B-roll folder in my cell phone, so all the clips are there and I can just use them anytime I need them.
So good. I need to also make a folder on my phone because they're all over right now.
I
I
know.
tend to just try to get them off my phone because
Smart.
I have so much video on my
I
phone. I mean, smart, but I probably have like 2,000 videos on my phone that I need to
I
like,
use Dropbox and Google Docs as well as my phone as well, and I'm a
yeah.
photographer, so I have, 18,000 external hard drives,
Yes.
for me, I will never use them if I don't have them on my phone. I just know me, like,
Right.
you need
So
to know
to
yourself.
edit, you like to edit the most on your phone?
Yes, I do
Yeah.
everything on my phone in Instagram. I don't use CapCut or anything else because anytime I put something in between, it's like a whole new marketing workflow for me, and I can't.
Right.
You know yourself, right? Like,
Right,
you have
and you
to know
don't really
yourself.
need to because you can do everything in Instagram, and to be honest, they love that. They want the more
I
you're on there,
know.
they love it. So if you're doing your text on your images,
Yep,
so you can use your notes on your phone to put your ideas in there. You can put your captions. I like to post everything from my phone.
yes.
So I do the same, like I have my captions ready to go.
Mhm.
Sometimes I create them on desktop and then I text them to myself and just cut and paste it in there when I'm doing it. And then the best part is you could get that trending audio to use for whatever post you're doing.
Absolutely. And that plays a big role, I find,
Mhm.
in my reels doing well or not. Obviously, the content as well, because it depends on what it is if people are interested. Like, anytime I talk about Pinterest affiliate stuff, that always blows up no matter, I could just stand there in bad light and it would still be watched, right?
Yeah,
But you
because
wanna make
people
it a
wanna know
nice,
how to do it.
yeah,
People really wanna learn how to do it. So, yeah, there's really, and batch process stuff. So, I like to just have a bunch of B-roll content that you're gonna either have on your phone or in the place that's easiest for you on your desktop, a Trello board, or put it right in Canva or wherever you wanna edit it. But you can just have it on your phone, and you can just or you can keep stuff in Instagram, but I'm always worried stuff will get lost in drafts.
I've lost so many things in there, whatever
Yeah,
reason, either their fault or I had to delete and reload again, and lost
yep,
so much stuff, so much. I don't even save it in drafts unless I'm planning to finish it and I have a phone call. So I'll put it in
mhm,
there, and then when the phone call's done, then I'll go do it.
yeah.
It's only short-term storage, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the other thing is you can schedule them on your phone and keep it in there, but it's really hard to change the date and time. Have you tried to do that?
You
It's
can't.
a
I mean,
little
I
it's a
can't.
little glitchy.
Yeah,
It's glitchy.
it won't let me, and then it messes up double posting to Facebook sometimes, and it's a whole thing. So I do it
Yep.
minute by minute, or if I'm gonna be gone for a week doing something, then I will use Meta and put them in Meta and schedule them out. That's the
Yeah.
only way that works for me, sadly.
Yeah, it works better than doing it on your phone because unfortunately that is glitchy. I have found the same thing. That it's I wish it wasn't, but it is. So reels are very important. And I would say carousels, like you said, the next best thing. So it could be a carousel with text and explaining things. Even photo dumps are still really popular to do just a carousel of posts. I don't have 20 photos yet. For some reason, I can only post
That's
10.
irritating. Don't you hate that? Some accounts have it and some don't, and I hate that.
Mhm.
The same thing
Yeah,
happens with Pinterest, so I can't complain.
I created like a really in-depth carousel that had like 17 slides that I went to upload it and it was like, you can only do 10. I was like, what? I had to like redo it.
I know,
Not
because
fun.
people will say, "Well, save it until you get it," but then I can never find it again, like, it's not.
It was timely. It needed to go.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I find, because I do hook up my Instagram to my Pinterest, so for me, it's icing on the cake for things to go over there. I also
Mhm.
then make them pins and post them and as well, because
Yeah.
on there it goes to Instagram, which is great because that's truly the way that clients move these days from Pinterest to Instagram, and then they'll decide to work with you. So I've done less where it's separate slides with words, and I kind of do more where they're standalone, but they're in, uh,
Mhm.
in that carousel, only because then it looks better on Pinterest.
Yeah, I've deleted a couple things, like, I keep the first slide and take a couple out when it auto posts over, but Pinterest does love that when you connect your Instagram and post over, so
Mhm. What role, and let's go ahead and dive in now because I know everyone's going to be thinking about it. What role does consistency play
Mm.
in building a successful Instagram presence? And how can businesses maintain that consistency, which is the $1,000,000 question?
Right.
I hate asking
Okay.
it, but I'm going to do it and see what you say.
So, I think the consistency, it used to be it was you have to post something every day. You have to post a photo, a beautiful photo to make a aesthetic that all looks beautiful and everything together. That was what we did for years, and now that's not true. So now they want to see more of kind of the behind the scenes things, the everyday things, and those things are in your stories, which we haven't talked about at all yet. So your consistency, you would post, say 2 or 3 reels if you can do it. If not, pick one day of the week and just be really consistent and work really hard on that one. And then another day, maybe you could do a carousel that's a group of photos, or you could create something in Canva. And then your stories are where you're going to keep top of mind so people see you up at the top. And those don't have to be produced at all. They don't have to be glossy and fancy. They can just be quick photos or quick videos. It's really more of the day to day kind of content, and the first 3 that you post every day are the most important. So
Oh.
if you think, because it kind of like people who post a ton of them, your
Or you
views
have
go
all those
up.
dots at the top and you're like, I'm not going through all of those. Let's go to the next.
Right, it seems a little people get a little bit tired if you have too many, so
Mhm.
3 are, like, super strong, so plan that out, so the first one, you could have, like, a little bit how your day is starting. Your second one, you could have whatever you wanna promote, 'cause you can get link shares, and you can sell things, so it's a great place to do that, and then people can click right on your link, and when you share the link, when you create an Instagram story and you share the link, customize the text and make it something really fun and personal, like a really great call to action. Don't just be like, read my blog post, do something fun like, OMG, I need this, like something fun, like really to fit your brand and your personality to kind of get in there. And of course, I love to add like stickers or gifts on things because I love gifts a lot.
Well, and Instagram loves when we use their tools. They
Yep.
just would you add 2 or 3 hashtags on those stories or don't even
I
bother?
never do 2 or 3. I tag the location if it's relevant. The location tags are really important, and a hashtag, but I only do 1 hashtag per post. It used to be a big thing to put a group of them, make them small, hide them, but
Yeah.
I think hashtags, they're not as important as they used to be. So I only use like maximum 3 on a post and make sure they're very hyper targeted
Yes.
and not huge ones that
And
have
not
over a
super
million.
broad, more
Right.
specific. Yes, I
Very
agree.
specific. And I have had posts getting a lot of views from hashtags. So when you take the time to create like specific hashtag groups, I do think it works. So I only do one on the stories
Okay.
and I just, use the little actual tool on there and
Yes.
sometimes write text. I don't usually draw things, but sometimes I do if it fits, like write a little something on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
My
all the
writing is horrible on there. So, yeah, I just use text.
yeah,
I have a friend who does like little swirly doos and things like that, and they look beautiful. And I try to do it, and it looks like a kindergartner,
I
drawing a
feel that.
person.
Yep,
It's
and
bad.
there's plenty of stickers that are
Yeah.
cute. So if that's not your thing and the canvas on your phone is too small for you, then use stickers. So yeah, I would say stories really help you stay consistent and top of mind. Another fun thing is the little notes that you can add on people's
Yeah,
posts.
I've been playing with that, and it's almost like they see it more
Yep.
than if I commented almost.
Yeah, because it
Why?
pops up if they follow you.
Yeah.
So say I like to follow, do you follow the Washington Post
I
online?
don't.
Oh my god, they have an account that's amazing.
Oh, I'll
It's
have
it
to do it then.
it blew up on TikTok, and they have it on Instagram now, and it is just amazing. They break down news stories in, like, a TikTok format,
Yeah.
and they're really fun and really funny, and if you're early in the comments there, I get so many followers from that,
No,
because it's a really big account. So
that's wild.
I like to do notes on theirs too. So if you haven't seen notes or done notes, when you go to hit the share arrow on a post on Instagram, a little thing pops up for a note and you can just write something short.
Yes.
Make a little comment. And then when people that you follow go there, you can see it. So it kind of floats a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
and it kinda
really cool.
wiggles and yeah, it,
Yeah.
like, draws your eye for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, if it, and it's different than leaving a comment, but I do think right now because it's new that a lot of people are seeing them and commenting. And I've had actually message from people who from the comments too, like just responding to it. So you can use the note also on your own profile for like, some if you have big news or you're going to go live or just put a little note in there. So you'll see that on people's profile at the top. Even if you don't have any stories, you could put a little note and that also shows up. So those
Ooh,
are ways to help you stay consistent that are very low lift, like they're not
yeah,
that time consuming, but you could just make a little list for yourself of like, make sure I have a note, make sure, you keep, a couple story ideas. And again, you could keep footage on your phone, use old things for your stories, reuse it, just put over text over it. And you can add trending music to that too.
yes, yes, yes. What are some tools or resources that you recommend for tracking Instagram analytics and performance? I
Ooh,
love being able to see the analytics, but I want an easy way to put them in a document that I can then look back on. Do you know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
It seems so it's a little irritating.
It is. When I do Instagram for client work, I like to use Agora Pulse because you can actually
Yes,
download monthly reports. They'll just send it to you,
yes.
which are amazing. And then you can also just give it to your client, like this is what happened this month. It's You basically don't have to do anything except for the work all month and
Yeah.
to make something happen on that.
I've
I
tried them, but, like, for Pinterest, they don't pull the analytics that I like to show, like those outbound clicks and pin clicks, which are the money clicks, in my opinion, for a
Right.
business. And
Yeah.
so, I'm hoping they get better. I mean, I'm hoping that they
I think that's Pinterest though. Pinterest doesn't want to share that information.
probably probably,
So
yeah.
unfortunately, you can't always get, like, a nice clean report because you're only looking at I wish they would, from what they already give you, just send you a monthly report on that.
Yeah.
That probably would be so easy for them to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Pinterest, if you're listening, I'm sure you're listening.
Um, I'm a
You would
Pinterest
like a
pioneer. I'm
report?
one of, like, 20 people in the Pinterest business community that helps in there, so I will go
Yeah.
ahead and make a note.
I'm in the Pinterest creators group.
Yeah, very fun. I'm in there
So,
too. As a Pinterest pioneer, I'm in all of the
yeah.
groups that they have. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So tools
So
and
why wouldn't they do that? You know what
I
I mean? Like for business accounts, just
I
send
know,
people a monthly report. They
I
do a
know.
great job on other emails. Like that would be like
And I
so
like
great.
their reporting. It's detailed. I love it. You can look
Mhm.
at the pins and see what they're doing. Like I love it, but I need it downloaded because it takes me hours each week to or each month to provide that information and do my video for my Pinterest clients.
Yeah, I wish there was a quicker answer for that. I mean,
Yeah,
Google Analytics give you some information, but that is like a hot mess after that update.
I know.
I hate that update. And then I use Plan for to do some of my Pinterest stuff, so they have reporting in there, but again, nothing like I don't believe any nice report that you can just get from Pinterest.
No.
I wish there was
How
though.
okay, so but let's dive a little deeper then because we know that that's not the case, but we also know that when it comes to marketing, you need to keep track of this information so that you know what's resonating with your audience. So, what
Yeah.
are 3, let's say, things that you like to track in Instagram for your growth?
So Instagram growth, I don't focus as much on follower count because that's
Everyone does, and I never do. So, I'm glad to
no,
hear you
it's
say
it's
that.
it's up and down. There's always a lot of unfollows. I mean, it's just the way that Instagram goes, whether they're fake accounts that have now disappeared or who knows what. But, Instagram, engagement is the biggest number, like we already kind of mentioned, but that's the biggest thing to go by. So I do like to use what they have in the app and I pull that up. Again, you can get reporting in like Plan or Agora Pulse if you're looking to download something, but Agora Pulse is pretty expensive now.
It is
But
really
if you
expensive. I have a
it is
free account,
really
but yeah, it's expensive.
I have a free account too, but I just like to mention that it's expensive just because if it's a small business owner, they might be like, I definitely want that. So you do have to do a little bit more manual work.
Mhm.
You can get reports in like the Meta business. If you should have a business account.
You should.
If you are a business, I think that's a thing that small business owners forget is that they're not an individual. They should have a professional business account.
Mm.
And you can get some reporting in Meta for business, like on desktop you can get stuff in there. Again, it's not as easy. They give you what they want to give you again, and they make it a little bit harder. Everything seems a little bit manual where you're pulling it up and looking at it. And, they have the little things that you can click on there, your analytics. But if you almost need to create a spreadsheet of yourself
Yeah,
of what the important
that's
things
what I
are.
do.
Yeah. And then you could do cool things in Canva, making graphs and charts using your data from your spreadsheets. So that's probably what I would do. And then another fun thing is you can use ChatGPT to analyze data for you. So if you have a CSV or an Excel file, you could say like compare this month to this month and then give me a
I've
summary.
never thought of doing that, but that's exactly what it would be great for. That's a
Yeah.
good point. And
And then and you could ask it, like, "Give me some suggestions for next month to improve whatever."
yeah,
I don't know how it would do for Pinterest, but certainly worth a try,
how
right?
do
Or
you
Instagram.
how when you look at your Instagram account, what are the
Mhm.
numbers that you look at, and how do you know if something went better than normal?
That's a good question. I think for Reels, it's just the views, but the shares really count a lot too. And then once something starts taking off, I dig into like why and where, and that's where I'll see like if it's hashtags. The frustrating thing is it doesn't tell you which hashtag it's popular in.
No.
So then you have to go
So
click on
irritating.
them.
I
Yeah,
also like to look at people that follow you versus people that don't, because I love
right,
with Reels the fact that you get an opportunity to get new people looking at your content.
right, and that's definitely what happens. It's really frustrating how few people see your content, though. Like, everyone is on the struggle bus there. We're all on there together. Like, we have a ticket and we're like, "Please show our stuff to someone." So, the trending audio, I feel like helps a lot with that. Getting more people to see things. And if you have the right hashtags, it can help. And locations, if you're a local business, you should have your location or your little community area on every single post because location and hashtags can definitely help too.
I
And it
I play
good.
around with the states versus
Mm,
the smaller community, and I've found I get more views that way on Reels with new people by putting
yeah.
California where I live.
Yeah.
Or if I'm traveling to Vegas, I'll put Vegas, or if I'm traveling so you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I for my photography business, because it's more of a local business, I use everything from the city to the name to the
Yep.
region to the all the
Yeah.
things.
I was just laughing though because you're in California. So if you do your state, it's like how many people are in the state of California?
A lot.
There's millions, yeah. So I'm in New Hampshire, we have 1.5 million people total.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, "Everyone in the state,
Try
come."
New York. Try the surrounding state. Just it's like,
All of New
I
England.
think I think this is a really good point, though. A lot of people are fearful to try new things on Instagram or to
Mhm.
you know what, like, there's 2 sides of the coin, right? A person who's trying to follow everything that everybody they follow says, and then you have the
Right.
people who are like, "Nope, I have my 2 point 2 reels a week and my 1 thing, and I'm not doing anything else." Then try a sticker or try a location or
Yeah.
try things. I think it's so important. It's
'Cause every
using the
account is
tool.
different.
Yeah,
Every account is different. There's really and the same is for any social platform. every different account base is different and they want different things from you. And that can even be like your business on different social media platforms. Like my Instagram page likes one thing, my Pinterest likes another, and then my Facebook page,
Totally different.
they like totally different stuff. Like I do a daily mantra and they like it every day. And there's just a group of people and they like it all the time. And I'm working on a book launch right now. So I missed that I had like a couple days where I didn't
Yeah,
have one. And they were like,
you
"Where
heard about
are
it.
they?" Yeah, and then they were like when I posted one, it was like, "Thank goodness they're back." And I'm like, "I'm really sorry." Like, but they love that. I think I'm on like I don't even know how many years I've been doing it, but there's people because sometimes I'm like, "Do people even care?" But it gets a lot of
It
interactions.
does.
It starts their day, so
Yeah.
they like it.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up, what are 3 things that have helped you to grow your business? Things could be
Mhm.
tools, advice, really anything.
Okay. So, I think what number 1 is consistency, but also willingness to try new things. So,
Yes.
not always relying on what everybody says to do, but trusting your gut and kind of saying, "Well, this is what I can do and I'm gonna try this." So, don't be afraid to, like, try new things because you could create the next new thing, and also your audience might like it. You don't want things to get too stale.
Sure.
I would say good advice is that you can say no to things that don't feel like they're in alignment or you don't have time for. I think as women, it's always like hard to say no. And you feel like if I pass this opportunity up, will something else come up? But sometimes you do have to say no and it's fine.
Yeah, and it will typically really work out well for you. You'll be
hmm
relieved that you don't have to do that thing that you didn't have the time to do. You'll feel a little bit of empowerment because you said no for the first time in probably a long time. So it's a
Right.
great booster of your confidence
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And then also don't have notifications on your phone because it'll make you crazy. And I like my phone quiet. When I go to check things, that's when I see it. Notifications, like even just talking about it, I feel anxiety. We just don't I've been doing it
Totally.
for so long. People that have all their sounds on their phone, if I go to the airport, it starts making me stressed. I'm like, please turn off your
Yeah,
noise.
it causes some anxiety for me, for real.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have for all my social media, I see it twice a day. I have my
Mhm.
phone set up to, like, deliver it in a group, and I just scan through it to see if I wanna look at any of it, and then I will
Right.
go on once or twice a day to Instagram. I don't like anything telling me what to do. And those
Right.
noises, they get you to do exactly why they are there for.
Right, and it distracts your focus, and then you can't it takes, like, 15 minutes. If you're doing something and you get interrupted, it takes, like, 15 minutes for your brain to let you get back
Refocus
into the
again.
whole
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can't give up that time, and who wants the anxiety from it?
Nobody. Nobody.
No.
Before we get to the gift that you are sharing with our audience, tell everyone a little bit about any services that you provide or a little bit about your book, something that could then be able to you'll be able to share.
Yeah, so 0 services.
You're all,
I offer no
"Woo!"
I offer no services and I'm not taking any clients, so thank you.
I love
But I am my book is the big thing that I'm talking about right now. Did take me a long time to write it because I distilled information from years of experience. And it is focused just on small businesses for social media. And it's the blueprint that you can use to create your own marketing success. It's not you have to do this and you have to do that. It's really these are your options and this is how you do it and this is how you create a budget so you can create a stress-free plan that works for you. So I really hope that it will help. My goal would be like if it would help tens of thousands of small business owners, I would be really happy to know that it's out there to help people because that's why I wrote it.
Excellent. And we'll, of course, have that link below. And tell everyone what your freebie is and how it can help our audience.
So I created a 31 days of social content. So it's a 31 days of social media prompts so you can boost your engagement and then you could just reuse that every month. Here's the thing. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You can create a little plan for yourself for 1 month, which is what I give you, and then you can just change it for every month. It just gives you like the whole like ideas of what to post, which is what we all need. You can take these, you can use them with AI, with your brand overlay of all your stuff, and create really great content, and then just rinse and repeat for next month so you don't have to feel so stressed.
If I boil it down, that's probably the biggest frustration that small business owners have is knowing what to do, like what to
Mhm.
post, right?
Right.
So that's a great start, and it'll also lead to other ideas as well that fit within your brand and your company.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your valuable advice and your time today. I really enjoyed meeting with you and also hearing about all of your advice here, and I can't wait to go read your book. And for you guys out there, if you found some ideas and some tips that can help you implement in your business, we would love for you to leave a review on the podcast because that's like the lifeblood of our podcast. But also go follow our friend Peg here and see what she talks about on her social media. Now go out there and do something good for your business, like snagging the gift that she's helping. And of course, all the links will be in the show notes. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.